I'm going to teach you how to sew a concealed zip. You will need 2 sides of fabric and a concealed zip. Measure 1 centimeter from the top of the fabric where you would like to place your zip. Open the zip slightly so that it's more manageable. Grabbing onto the zip teeth, you'll have to rotate the teeth up and out. On the other side, up and out. Let's start with one side first. Flip your zip teeth and align the large plastic bead just below the 1 centimeter line. Pin it in place to secure. My patterns are usually drafted with a 1.5 seam allowance for the zip. Therefore, I'm leaving a 0.5 cm gap between the edge of my zip and the edge of the fabric. However, if you are sewing somebody's pattern that only has a 1 cm seam allowance, put the zip flush onto the edge of the fabric. Go ahead and extend the zip all the way down fully and pin the zip. To sew the concealed zip, I will be using a special concealed zip footer. Here's what it looks like. There's a hole on the top for the needle to go through and 2 tunnels for the zip teeth to go through. So it really depends which side of the zip you're sewing, it will go into a different tunnel. Make sure that you put it in the correct tunnel. Starting all the way from the top, you will be back stitching and then sew all the way down. A tip that I like to do is I like to roll the zip teeth out. So using my finger as I sew, I'll be pushing the zip teeth out so that my stitch can really get underneath the zip teeth. Here's how to change your footer. We're going to change it to the concealed zip footer. So first I'll have to remove my current footer. Once you're done putting in the concealed zip footer, make sure that the needle is right in the center. It should not be tilting to the left or the right. Put the zip teeth into the correct tunnel. Starting from the top, sew down. Be mindful of the big bead. If the first big bead is refusing to go into the tunnel, use your finger and roll the bead so that it is narrow enough to slide through. Check back your stitches to see if you have sewn it correctly. Your stitches should not be on the zip teeth. Instead, you should be able to roll away the zip teeth and your stitches should be underneath. Continue sewing. When you reach close to the end, slow down. The zip head will be in the way, so all you have to do is stop and backstitch. One side is completed. Zip up the zip to make sure it's running smoothly up and down. Once you're satisfied, we can move on to the other side. Fold the zip so that the right side is facing up. Open slightly and flip the zip teeth up and out. Position the plastic bead so that it's underneath the 1 cm seam allowance. Pin in place and sew the side down. Remember to use the correct side of the tunnel. When you're done with that side, test the zip so that it's able to zip up and down smoothly. If you've sewn it well, on the right side you should not be able to see the color of the concealed zip. Let's finish up the bottom part of the zip. Grab a ruler and draw your seam allowance or sewing line down. So I'm continuing from the line that I've just sewn. all the way down. From where my stitches stop, I'm gonna put 1 finger space and mark the start of this stitch. So my starting of my new stitch is going to be about 1 finger space above my old stitch. We're going to use the left-right footer to continue the stitch. This footer will allow me to get very close to my stitch without sewing on the zip. Make sure that you're not sewing on the zip. Push the zip to the corner. When the zip is correctly placed, when it's lying on its side, it creates almost a wall. Remove your concealed zip footer. Remove the footer by pressing the black lever at the back towards yourself. Clip on the rightmost side. Slide your fabric in and adjust the fabric so that the zip is laying completely on the side, creating a wall. When you're putting the footer down on the fabric, it should not be sitting on the zip, it should be lying only on the fabric. And the zip is just beside the footer. Next, move your needle so that you can sew as close as possible to the line. The closer you're able to go, the nicer the finish will be. Pull the zip slightly to prevent yourself from sewing onto it. Please be very careful while sewing this that your fingers do not get too close to the needle. Sew all the way down and back stitch. When you're done, check that you have tried to sew as close as possible to the line and that you have not sewn onto the zip or the back accidentally. You should not be able to tell where the zip has stopped. The final step would be to iron your fabric. So spread open the seam allowances and press gently where the zip is at. There you have it, your zip is done. If your invisible zip footer is different from mine, and it looks something like this, the same way to sew is just the way you change your footer. So instead of removing the whole footer with a screw, remove it in this way and clip on your footer.